Hello, my loves. Today we are working on lesson 11.11, or in some books it's 11.12. It depends on if you have the new book or the older book. And it's going to be the volume of composed figures. So the volume of composed figures uses the same standard that we've been working on. I can relate volume to operations of multiplication and addition, and solve real-world and mathematical problems involving volume. So, volume is additive. That's where that addition comes in. Volume is additive. And what that means is you can find the volume of smaller pieces and then add them to get the whole volume. So here is a composed figure or a composite figure, or it's called a complex figure or an irregular figure. Lots of names for this. But basically it means it's just a few figures squished together. And what we can do is we can cut those figures apart to get individual rectangular prisms, and then use that same volume formula we've been using, length times width times height, find the volume of each little piece, and then add the volumes back together. So here's our objective for today. I can decompose compound figures. Decompose means to break it down. Then find the volume of the smaller parts, and then add to find the volume of the whole figure. So we're going to break it apart, find the individual volumes, and then add them all together. Here's your essential question. What two strategies can you use to find the volume of compound figures? So we're going to focus on one main strategy, but there are two. So as you're learning, I want you to click save in that big, beautiful brain of yours and remember what the two strategies are. Here are the lead measures for today. We're going to unlock the problem with the interactive textbook. We'll discuss the two strategies with share and show. And then I've got practice here with page 489. And what I'm going to ask you to do is pause the video so you can practice solving the problems on your own, and then you hit play and you can check your answers with mine. And of course, we've got those iReady teacher assigned lessons that are due every single week. Every week you have 3 math grades. 2 of them is going to be an iReady teacher assigned lesson. And then the third one is your 50 minutes. Plus, the 50 minutes also counts for your attendance, but only if it's in conjunction with 50 minutes of reading. You need to make sure that you're not just doing math, or you're not just doing reading. You need to do math and reading, okay? That's Charlie Weasley saying hello. Okay, so we just finished unlock the problem. And those two strategies, do you remember them? There's the additive and the subtractive. And we're going to focus more on the additive with our practice from page 489. Remember, volume is additive. You can find the volume of the smaller pieces and then add to get the whole volume. Okay, get your pencil and paper ready. Let me get my pen ready to go. Okay. Are you ready? Whoop. Sorry about that. All right, my pen is ready. Are you ready? First, we need to decompose the figure. And they helped us out here. They gave us a dotted line to show us where we're going to decompose the figure. So now we have 2 separate figures. I have one here, and then I have one here. So do you see how my one figure has now become 2 figures? Get rid of all these extra pieces. I need room to do my math. Okay. So let's start with this smaller figure. Now, this is telling me that from top to bottom, it's 5 inches. But my figure does not go from top to bottom, does it? It stops right here. So I need to find out what is the dimension of this little piece here. Well, let's look here. Do you see a dimension here? Nope. How about over here? Yes, it's 2. If that one's 2 inches, then that means that's 2 inches, and that will be 2 inches. So if this is 2 inches, and all together it's 2 plus an unknown that equals 5, what is the unknown? It's 3, isn't it? This is 3 inches. So now we have the height of 3. We have, this 2 inches. Right there, isn't it? If that's 2 inches, what's this one going to be? 2 inches. What's this one going to be? 2 inches, yeah. So that's going to be the length from left to right. It's 2 inches. It doesn't have to be down at the bottom. Sometimes it could be at the top. So I have, I'm going to put it over here. We're going to put figure 1. It's length times width times height. My length is 2. What's my width? What's the width here? It doesn't tell me. Does it tell me here? Nope. How about here? No, it doesn't tell me there. Well, let me look. If this is a width, oh, look, this has to be the same, which means this is congruent as well. There it is. If this is 4 inches, then this one's 4 inches. And that means this is also 4 inches. It's 2 times 4. Now, what is my height? My height is 3. 2 times 4 times 3. Well, what is 2 times 4? We've got 8. And what's 8 times 3? 8 times 3 is 24. Now we're talking about inches. Inches, inches. How many did I multiply? I multiplied 1 dimension of inches, 2 dimension of inches, and 3 dimension of inches. So that's why we have that inches cubed, or cubic inches. Let's look at our second figure. We have to find the length, the width, and the height. What's the length of this figure? How about the width? What's the width? Oh, that was easy. They gave it to you. And what about the height? Oh, they gave you that one too. Okay, so we can multiply using the commutative property. I could do 4 times 2 and 8 is 8. And what's 8 times 8? Or I can do 8 times 4 is 32. That one's a little bit easier for me. 32 times 2 is 64. And don't forget that it's inches cubed. So the volume of this figure is 24 inches cubed, and the volume of this figure is 64 inches cubed. So we just completed step 2, is find the volume of all pieces. We found the volume of all those parts. Step 3 is to add them together. So let's add them together. 4 plus 4 is 8, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So is my answer 88? No, my answer is not 88. My answer is 88 inches cubed. You have to have inches cubed in your answer. All right, we've got another problem here. Let's take a look at what's happening. There's a cat on my textbook again. Mr. Mistopheles, please let me have some space. Thank you, my dear. Okay. Are we ready? So, well, we saw something like this in Unlock the Problem, didn't we? Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to break apart or decompose that figure and turn it into two figures. So let's take a look at the little one. We'll call that one figure 1. We need to multiply length times width times height. What's the length of figure 1? Oh, they gave it to us. It's 3. What's this width? Well, see that little arrow telling you here it's 2? If that one's 2, then this one's 2. And what about that height? Give me 1 second. I've got my bar is in my way. There we go. So what is the height? Well, I don't see the height here, but I see height here. And if that one is 1, then this one is 1, this one is 1, and this, they're all 1. So it's 3 times 2 times 1. And you guys can easily do that with mental math. 6 centimeters cubed. Very good. Okay, now let's work on that second figure, the large figure. We're multiplying length times width times height. What's the length from left to right? It's right here, isn't it? 7 centimeters. What is the width from front to back? 6 centimeters. And we know that height is 1. So hopefully you know your times tables. What is 7 times 6? It's 42. And 42 times 1 is still 42. And it's also centimeters cubed. And all we have to do now, step 3, is to add them. 6 plus 2 is 8. And we've got 4. 48 centimeters cubed is the answer. Okay, so now I've done 2 examples for you. So it's going to be time for you to start pausing the video, doing the math yourself, and then pressing play so you can check your answers. Now, please remember to be kind to yourself and be patient with that big, beautiful brain of yours. This is new, it's challenging, and it takes time. So if you don't quite get it, and you guys love to say that in class, I don't get it. Well, yeah, you don't get it yet because we've only done a few examples. If at the end of the lesson you still don't get it, please watch the video over again. Go on YouTube and search for volume of composite figures or volume of irregular figures or volume of composed figures. Find the information, and then you'll be able to say, once you have practiced, now I get it. Okay? So it's really important to give yourself some room to grow, because there's a really important word that needs to be part of your everyday vocabulary. Yet. I don't get it yet, but you will get it. Give yourself some time. Okay, so here is another composite figure. Now this one we're going to break this way, aren't we? Okay, let's take a look at what we have. Let's start with this little one. We need to find the volume of, let's call this one A. Let's have fun with that. Figure A. We need to find the volume of figure A. We need to do length times width times height. What is the length from left to right of volume A? It's 4 feet, yeah. What's the width? And how about that height? Do you see a height for volume A? I don't see a height. I don't see a height. I don't see a height. Let me look over here. Oh, there's the height. If this is 2, then this is 2, and that is 2, and that is 2, and that is 2. And you can probably do this one with mental math, can't you? First, we multiply these together. You get, and 8 times 2 is 16. 16 what? Feet cubed. Okay, I want you to pause the video now, and I want you to find the volume of figure B. All right, let's see if your answer matches mine. Again, length times width times height. And the length of B is 6 feet. And the width of B from front to back is 3. And then the height we see is 2. So 6 times 3 is 18. And 18 and 18. Or I could say, using my commutative property law, 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 times 6 is 36. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to begin with the end in mind because I know I'm going to have to add those up. All right, pause again if you didn't already add them. Pause again and add them up. All right, I have 6 and 6 is 12. 3, 4, 5. 52. 52 feet cubed. Did you get that answer? If you didn't get that answer, don't erase your work. Look at your work and see what mistake you might have made. Maybe it was an addition mistake. Maybe it was a multiplication mistake. Okay, next one. So we need to decompose this figure. And I have a couple of choices. I can decompose the figure like this, or I can decompose the figure like this. Which way do I want to do it? Well, let me think. If I decompose the figure like this, will I be able to find this dimension? Yes, I can find that dimension, and they tell me this dimension. Good. I'm able to find this dimension. I'm going to leave it just like that. That's how I'm going to cut mine. I'm going to make mine a little neater. That's a little better. All right. So let's start with calling this one A, and we'll call this one B. Go ahead and pause your video. Find the volume of A and find the volume of B, and then let's add them up together. All right, here's how I found volume of A. A, of course, the volume is length times width times height, right? And the length of A is from left to right, it's 3. And what about the width from front to back? It's 8. They gave me that dimension. And the height is 2. 3 times 8 times 2. Well, I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So what's 24 times 2? 48 centimeters cubed. Now how about B? Again, length times width times height. And the length of B. Now this is not the length of B anymore, is it? The length of B is now here to there. That's the new length of B. And that one matches this one. It's 10. And the width from front to back is 3. Oh, that's 30. That's an easy one. And then what's the height? 2. So 30 times 2 is 60. And when we add them together, 108 centimeters cubed. Is that the answer you got? If not, check your work. Whoop, don't know what I just did. What did I just do? There we go, okay. Let's get our pen ready. And let's draw, okay. Look at this figure. I can cut this figure a few different ways. I could cut this figure like this, and I could get A, B, and C. I could do that if I wanted to. Or I could cut it this way and just get A and B. Let's cut it this way and get A and B. Now, do you see how I'm writing my formula every time? Now, you don't have to do that. When you get a new piece of paper, just put the formula at the top, and that way it's always there. And we talked about this, like whenever you're taking a test and you know you're going to be using a formula or you're using a certain strategy, write it down on that paper. Because as you're going through, sometimes we forget. And having that visual reminder will remind you and help you. So let's look at A. What's the length of A? From left to right. I don't see a measurement there. I see one here. This one says 3. So what's this one going to be? 3. Because your length does not have to be just on the bottom. Your length is going to be bottom here, or top, or even over here. So the length of A is 3. How about the width from front to back? I don't see a dimension there, but I can tell it matches this one. It's 4. And then my height is 2. I know that 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24 feet cubed. Okay, let's find the volume of B. The length of B is 9. The width is 4. And the height, they told me here, is 2. So I can use my commutative property law, and I could do 9 times 4 to get 36, and then 36 times 2. Or I know that 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 9 is 72. And when I add them up, 4 and 2 is 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this the answer you got? Did you get 96 feet cubed? Okay, so we have another figure. Let's see what this one is. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can't cut this in 2 easy pieces, can I? This one, I have no choice but to cut it in 3 parts. Let's call this one A. Well, let's use a different color that we can see better. A, B, and C. So do you see how I'm trying to keep this as organized as possible? Because some of these are getting a little bit more challenging now. And we want to make sure that we start as we mean to go on. Begin with the end in mind. If we start off organized and neat, then we're going to have an easier time solving it, finding the correct answer. So when you're using scrap paper, please don't do your math like this. Make your math nice and organized so you can add them up, okay? Let me erase all that. Messy. Okay. A, B, and C. Let's start with A. What is the length of A? I have no idea. But you know what I can see? I can see that the whole length is 14. But I don't know the length of A. Do I know the length of B? Ooh, I do know the length of B. You know what I'm going to do? Watch what I'm going to do. Watch this. You ready? Get rid of those little stray guys. Get out of there. Go. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Watch this. I'm going to do a table. Ready? Watch. And it's going to be length times width times height. I've got A, B, and C. Do you have to do this? No, of course not. The length of A, I don't know it yet. Do I know the length of B? Yeah, I do. Look, it's 6. The length of B is 6. Do I know the length of C? Yep, it is 4. Now look, boys and girls, if from left to right here it's 14, then that means from here to here it's also 14. And I know that from this point to this point, it's 6 plus 4, which is 10. That means this little piece has to be 4. It has to be 4, right? Because 10 plus 4 is 14. Oh. How about that width? The width here, I don't see a dimension. I don't see one. Oh, there it is. If this is 5 feet, then that means this one's 5 feet, and so is this one. Everybody's width is 5. How about that? Now, are all the heights the same? No, not at all. What about the height for A? We can see that the height for A is 4. Can you tell what the height for B is? Do you see the height for B? Well, from bottom to top, it says it's 6 feet. So B is going to be 6 feet. But C isn't 6 feet. What would C be? Let me erase some of this. Okay. I see a 2 feet here. Does that mean that 2 feet is from left to right? No, well, it really can't because we already said it was 4. The 2 feet is this one right here. They're going to be sometimes a little tricky. Sometimes they're going to give you an arrow. Here they didn't. This 2 feet, if you're not careful, you might think this is 2 feet. But we know that it's 4 feet. And the reason we know it's 4 feet is because this 4 feet obviously is not talking about that, is it? It's not even close to it. This 4 feet, I mean, I would think it's talking about this one, or it's talking about this one. Well, I know that this one's 4 feet, and that would stop. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the height is 2? I think the height is 2. That one got a little confusing, didn't it? Well, let's see if we've got the right math here. Let's multiply our numbers. 4 times 5 is, we'll go ahead and pause the video and do all this multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 4 is 80. 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 times 6 is 180. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 2 is 40. When we add them all up, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I get 300. 300 feet cubed. And good news, boys and girls, that is the correct answer. That was a challenging one. We had to really think about it. And you know what? I think that that table helped me. I've never done that before. I just had like an idea, and it really helped me be organized. Okay, this is our last one. Okay, good job. Let's see if we can go out with a bang. I see another one where we have to do 3 separate shapes. Ay, ay, ay. So we have a choice. We can do vertical cuts, or we can do horizontal. Well, I kind of like the way that horizontal one worked out. I really like that horizontal one because look, that means I get to use this as that whole rectangle. I'm going to stick with that one. So I've got A, B, and C. And let's do it this way. Do you have to do that? No, of course not. You know what? I'm gonna start with B. I like that 10 centimeters. My length is 10. What's my width of B? Let me see. Watch what I can do. I can, what does this mean? What's this spotlight mean? Well, I don't know what I just did. I don't know what I just did. What did I do? Miss Allison, what are you doing? I have no clue, ladies and gentlemen, what I just did. I am sorry. Let me go all the way, because this is what I get for playing around. I don't want those. What did I do? Is that telling us to to stop? That was the last problem. No, come on, we got one more. We can do this. Slideshow from the current slide. Okay, here we go. All right, I won't mess with it anymore, I swear. My goodness, I don't even know what I did. I played with it before and it came out just fine. And I don't know what's different now. I know, I remember, I think I remember what I did. Was this it? See, that's the one. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for this. See, I know what I'm doing most of the time. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to color it a little bit different. Uh-oh, my phone's ringing. Okay, let's see. Let me get my colors back. Okay. So I was at A and B and C. And I wanted to start with B because that 10 centimeters length. Now what's the width? Here it is. 3 is the width. And how about that height? I don't know what the height is because from top to bottom it's 6, but I cut it right there. So what is the height of just this little piece? Do we know the height of this piece? Make sure I cut that. Do we know the height of this piece? Yes, we do, because look, it's telling us right here it is 4. So if that piece is 4, then this is 4. What's this one got to be? Oh, you know what? Let me fix this because my drawing, it goes this way. My apologies. It's really hard, isn't it? There. Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay. So if this is 4, then this has to be 2. Now I can do 10 times 3 is 30, and 30 times 2 is 60. Okay, get rid of you. And I'm going to get rid of you because I'm done with you. All right, let's go to A. Let's see what we can find with A. What's the length? Go ahead and pause the video and let's see if you can find the same length, width, and height of A and C. And then go ahead and find the total volume. Then press play and let's see if your answer matches mine. All right, my length for A is 2. My width for A, I'm tempted to say 3, but it can't be 3. I don't think, well, maybe it can. I'm tempted to say it is 3 because this one says 3. And that means if that one's 3, then the one I can't see is 3. It is going to be 3. Maybe they just gave that to me for fun because they're so nice. What about my height? From here to here. Well, this is shorter, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe the 3 is the height? Let's think about this. From top to bottom, it's 6. From top to bottom is 6, but that doesn't look like, that looks like it's shorter, doesn't it? Let me clear up my mess. This is clearly shorter. I think it might be 3. Let's see, I've got 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 3 is 18. Let's go with C. My length is 2. My width is going to be 3 because the width is the same. And my height is not 6, it's 4. So let's multiply all together. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24. And when we add them up, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 102. Guess what, boys and girls? That is the correct answer. Boop, 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 boop. 102, fix that 0. 102 centimeters cubed is the answer for this complex figure. Now, that was a little confusing here and there because if it was in your hand, you could easily move things around and you can measure and you can be sure. But when you're dealing with a picture, you have to think even harder. You really do. Now, if my answer was wrong, Then I would go back and I would think, let's pretend that they said the answer was 108. Then I know that I'm 4 centimeters off, and I would look back and see where I made my mistake. Maybe I made my mistake with one of these, or with this one, or with this one. Always look and check. Don't just say, okay, I got it wrong. I'll do better next time. You can't do better next time unless you know exactly what you did wrong. Okay? All right, boys and girls, you did an amazing job with me. And I'm really proud of you. And I really hope that you took the time to stop the video and to do the practice. And you know what? If you didn't do it this time, you know what? That's totally okay. That's actually probably a good idea too. To maybe watch the video once all the way through, get an idea of how to do it, and then watch the video again. But this time, do the pause and do the math yourself. You know what? That's totally cool. That would probably work for you to give you even a better idea of how to solve these problems. And if you want to do this video 1 time, or 2 times, or 3, or 4, or 5 times, you can do this video as many times as you like, and look for some other resources to help you solve these problems, okay? And I will see you tomorrow when we do a little bit more of these complex figures. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Practice, practice, practice. Bye.